Okay, daily 3, the 3 daily sales tips. Here's the video that I was promising, real quick, just so everyone knows. I do these videos, they're the daily 3. It's basically just 3 quick sales tips to help you improve your sales and maybe to understand why you're missing out on sales. So, real quick, this one's going to be fast. The 3 tips we have for today. Number 1, state of mind. I believe state of mind is super important. Going into any sales environment, you have to have the right state of mind. You have to understand what your goal is and a good strategy on how to accomplish that. Now, that all ties in with motivation. You can have motivation to get yourself in the right state of mind. There's various ways to do that. We'll talk a little bit more about that later because that's based on individuals. So state of mind, very important when going into a sales environment. Make sure you have the right state of mind so that you can go in and perform at your peak. So get yourself in the right state of mind. What kind of preparation that takes is up to you, whether it's nutrition, whether it's hydrating, whether it's exercise, working out, whatever you need to do to get yourself there. That's sales tip 1. Get yourself in the right state of mind. The motivation is the key. Number 2, any sale, I don't care what type of sales you do, the point is, the reason you're selling somebody something is to solve a problem. So your goal throughout the sales process, whether it's a short sales cycle or a long sales cycle, is to solve a problem. So therefore, the sales process is to figure out what that problem is and then present a solution to your prospect, which hopefully becomes your client. So number 1, state of mind. Number 2 is to solve the prospect's problem with your service or product. And to get there, you have to ask questions and you have to understand what their problem is and how you can solve it. So do more listening than talking. There should be short bursts of questions and then listening to the answers. Once you have the answers, you have the ammunition to then solve the problem for the guest and explain to them how your product or service is going to solve their problem. And then number 3, the close. We're going to spend a lot more time on this later, but you're closing with a question. So the close, or a lot of people refer to it as a trial close, is going to be with a question. So something like, does that sound good? Or will this work for you? Basically, you're asking, did I solve that problem so that we can move forward and do business together? But sometimes people close and go for a hard close, and when you end up doing that, the problem is it's jarring to the potential customer and it throws them off, and the natural reaction is to say no. So use some trial closes. You don't even have to do it at the end of the sales process. The close technically is at the end of the sales process, but you can do trial closes throughout your process to kind of find out where the prospect's head is at. Like, so far, does everything sound good? Everything we've talked about, that kind of lines up with what you were talking about, Mr. Smith, right? I'm solving their problems and then asking questions to reinforce the fact that my product or service is what solves their problem. So the 3 daily tips for today are: come in with the right state of mind. Whatever motivation or whatever you have to do to get yourself in the right state of mind to go sell, get yourself there, because it's very important. If you're having a bad day, your sales are going to show. Number 2, solve a problem. That's why we're selling things, to solve a problem. You're selling a vacuum cleaner because someone has dirty floors and they want them clean. So figure out what that problem is through asking questions and solve them. Guys, sales is a lot more about listening than it is talking. Your talking has to be very concise. Your questions have to be very pertinent to the information that you're trying to get to. So you're using questions that are leading them into the answers that you want so that you can show the prospect, which hopefully becomes the customer, that, hey, I have your solution. You need to go on vacation? I got vacations. You have a dirty floor? I have vacuum cleaners. You need a ride? I sell cars. So, number 2, solve a problem, figure out that problem. And then number 3, close with the question. Do some trial closes throughout your process. And then at the end, ask a question. Does that work for you? Can we move forward? What will it take to move forward? Even if you're not there yet, even if you're not to taking a payment or something, there's still the aspect of moving forward. And right there, a lot of times you'll get more objections, and then you can really pull out what's stopping the sale from happening. They'll give you their main objection, the real thing that you were trying to get out of them the whole time. So guys, this was Michael with Sales Tips. Those are your daily 3. I'm going to link up everything. My Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything will be linked up in the description below. If you guys have any questions, comments, please comment. Like I said, this is a community and a conversation. So all the